And suddenly I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I have like big windows in my apartment, and I see the explosions through my window. I'm like, okay. And my friend is calling like, yo, war has started. War has started. And you started to shaking, calling my mom.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Champion This podcast with Brianna, Salvatore, Dueck, and Chelsea Poppens, where we share the incredible stories of athletes and entertainers who are using their platforms to create positive change in the world and their communities they live in. So welcome.
We're super excited and honored to have one of my favorite champions of change on the podcast today, Smoove, a great friend of Chelsea and I's. I just want to hype him up really quick, give you a little bit of his bio. Smoove is a two-time FIBA 3-on-3 world dunk champion in both 2016 and 18. He's the first Harlem Globetrotter from Ukraine. He's a basketball creator and member of the International Dunk Elite team. And he's a sports diplomat, sports advocate, doing a lot of work around peace building through sports, among other things.
Yeah, super happy to have you, Smoove. You're kind of humble.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here. Happy to have a conversation with you.
Tell us a little bit about your background. Obviously, you're Ukrainian, but we'd love to hear how you found your passion with basketball and dunking.
Yeah, basketball. I fell in love with basketball when I was, I think, 6 years old, just because my father and my brother was playing together. They play different sports. So my father is professional chess player. He's like international champion also. He's the
Wow.
head of the national team of Ukraine.
Whoa.
Yeah, in chess. And one of the, so chess has also, there is a classic chess, couple different disciplines. So he one of the main guys in one of the disciplines in Ukraine. And my brother was always a volleyball player. So he also played pro in Ukraine, but both of them, they went to play basketball together. So basketball was their second love. And I fell in love with basketball just because of them. And we didn't have a lot of it on the TV when I was growing up. I remember we had only maybe NBA Jam in 97, like once a week for like 10 minutes on one TV channel. This was first time when I saw Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. I was like, wow, I never seen anything like that. Yeah, and thankfully enough, like my brother was dunking really good, so I saw it on TV, and then I saw it in real life. So I fell in love with it really, really quickly. Yeah, so at the age of 6, I picked up the basketball, and since then, just playing all the time, all my life.
So the ups are just in the genetics. You guys all just have really great ups.
I don't think so. I asked my father, and he told me he barely dunked, maybe like one hand, like two hands on a great day.
I was going to say a chess player being being super bouncy. You don't necessarily put those two things together, but I love it.
Right.
Oh, I was talking about his brother.
Yeah. I imagine nowadays in the social media era, like you're a chess player, then you just stand up from the table, just take a basketball and go dunk. I mean, it would be viral.
So how old were you when you completed your first dunk?
No, I think
Started playing at 6, first dunk at 8.
almost, yeah. 14 was my first legit dunk on a regulation on a 10 feet. Yeah, before that I was jumping all the time on like 9, 8, just trying to feel it, how it feels, just to touch the rim, touch the backboard. How my first dunk on a low rim, then slowly getting up there. Yeah, so at the age of 14 and at the age of 15, I already competed in my first dunk contest. So, and I fell in love with it. And next year at the age of 16, I won my first dunk contest. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want to do. Probably basketball is fun, but
you're like, I got this.
Yeah, when you are the main guy on the court, everybody's watching, just you doing your thing and you winning it. So it is just amazing feeling. So yeah, I just kept going.
Oh, I love it. That's great. When you look back on the role basketball has played in you growing up, what do you think, what kind of experiences from all all of your experiences as an athlete, what do you think basketball has taught you?
First of all, basketball gave me all of my best friends in life. So this is the most important part. So all of my
Mm,
friends, best friends, of course, they came from basketball. We played together. We grew up together. With one of my like best friends from my childhood. We didn't get along outside of the court, so we were really different. But when we came on a court, we were like brothers. So, and I'm really thankful for this sport to give me those kind of people. I'm still really close to everybody from my childhood with whom I played on the court. So that's the most important, and there's the connection. Sometimes you cannot really be on the same page with your parents, with your older brother who's like 8 years older than me. It's like big gap. 8 years old, 8 years older. He has
mm,
his own interest. I have my own. But when we go on the court,
yeah.
we have something in common. We play on the same team. We share like emotions together. So that's the most important part, I think. Just so sports is just amazing, and a basketball court in particular is like I think is the best place in my life. So whenever I go there, I just feel like home.
I love that. I mean, that's how we all got connected, right? Was the love of the
Yeah,
game, NBA All-Star Weekend with a hoop bus, and just like living those incredible moments together and building that bond, like you said, around this love of the sport. There's nothing like it. So, Smoove, you mentioned to us, you won your first dunk contest at 16. Let's fast forward a little bit. So, in 2016 and 2018, you were actually the FIBA 3-on-3 World Cup dunk contest winner. You're the champion as part of that dunk elite team. Can you talk to us about that competition a little bit and what it took to actually win those medals as well?
yeah. So FIBA 3x3. So that's a separate sport right now. Like basketball 3-on-3 is a separate sport, Olympic sport. And when they just started having their like professional season in 2012, they also tried to put in a show for the crowd, and they invited like best dunkers to every stop. And there's like in 2012, I don't remember how many stops, but let's say like seven, just seven stops around the world, and every stop has a great dunk contest with some of the best dunkers in the world. And every season, we just increased the number of the dunk contests, so more dunkers got invited. All of the best guys from all over the world was competing. And in 2016, FIBA decided, because FIBA already had World Cups for players, and they decided like, why not, put the dunk contest like a real competition for the dunkers to have them a chance to win those medals. And they opened a dunk contest for like professional dunkers, so you can, even if you don't play for a 3x3 team, you can go and represent your country in a dunk contest. So they opened in 2016. They invited everybody. Not everybody went there, just because if you win, you don't have any um, money prize. So no money prize, just medals and bragging rights. So not so many people cared about this at that time. So I just went. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's China. Why not to go to China? All expenses are paid.
Oh, wow. It was in
Yeah, it
China, the
wasn't. Yeah, it
first.
was a
Yeah.
Guangzhou. So amazing city, great crowd.
Okay.
Chinese crowd is just amazing. They love basketball. They crazy about basketball. So you're like, why not? And then I went there, no
Yeah.
expectations at all. And but then when you put in the uniform which says Ukraine on the chest and your name, your last name on the back, is totally different feeling. Basically the same dunk contest, but totally different feeling. Like I can compare like you playing a regular season game in NBA and then the finals. Basically, it's the same game, but just the magnitude around it is just different. Yeah. So 2016, I won it.
Yeah.
In the finals, I beat NBA player who was at the time Alfonso McKinney. He played like a few years in the NBA with the Warriors, with the Raptors, with Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
But 2018, we had a great competition. It was Guy Dupuis, arguably the best dunker in the history of the dunk contest. He's from France. We have like Philippines, Poland, Lithuania, a lot of representatives in this dunk contest. Yeah, and I was happy to win my second medal, which is huge for, for me it was another dunk contest. But when you come back home, for people, you come in with a gold medal of the World Cup. They don't care what sport it
Mm,
is, what discipline it is. It's a gold medal of the World Cup. So
Mhm.
it's just amazing feeling, to bring this to your people. Yeah. So
W- Were you one of the only Ukrainian players, athletes competing in the dunk
there's
contest?
two of us. Two of us. Actually, second
okay.
guy, he also won a World Cup in 2019. So I was 16, 18, and he
Nice.
won next year in 19. Yeah. So Ukraine was well represented.
You guys
Yeah.
kept it. You
That's
held it down. I love it.
that's amazing. So let's talk about your nickname, Smoove. How did this nickname come about?
Yeah. That's kind of funny story just because, I'm a big fan of basketball, but street ball and show basketball in particular. So I was watching all this and one mixtapes, Rocker Park videos, where you have guys with the nicknames. Like everybody has a great nickname, cool nickname, and you're watching like, come on, why in my country, if somebody gives you a nickname, it will be a bad one. It's 100% will be a bad nickname, means
Oh
something
no.
bad. I'm like, we just don't have a culture.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, Ukraine's not good at nicknames. All
No,
right.
no nicknames. I mean, a lot of nicknames, but you cannot use them as your name,
You're not going to make it your Instagram profile
Definitely
name.
not, no. So yeah, I was probably like 13 or 14, and I was playing just NBA Live 2003, I think. And in a section, when you create your player, in this edition of the game, you could choose the nickname of the player. And I didn't know English too much. I just saw this combination of the letters, which say Smoove. I'm like, it looks nice, looks great. I'll take it. So I
Mm.
created a player, and then I started to use this nickname in the internet on one website. And then this website, where I was like just a user out there, they started to organize like a street ball tournaments. So all the users from this website just went to the tournaments. And of course, nobody knows your name. Everybody knows your nickname on the internet. And it's just combined that I came there immediately. I was like freestyling, playing, dunking, even at the age 15, 16. So everybody was calling me Smoove by the name they saw on internet. And it just stuck to me because nobody cared what my real name is. They just know Smoove. So nobody gave it to me like in a rocker park, or I just created it and just people liked it. I'm like, okay, you want to be Smoove, you'll be Smoove, whatever.
Hey, that's a great name to pick. It could have been so much
I
worse.
know, I know.
Good thing you picked a good one.
Yes.
It is a great name, and honestly, it's like very fitting for your style of play. Because when you do stuff, I'm like, that is so freaking smooth with a V at the end. But it's amazing. It fits you really well.
Thank you, thank you.
So, after you got your championship in 2018, you had a major knee surgery in 2019. And I mean, Bree and I know too. We've had super like serious injuries with our knees, and we know how that feels. So, obviously, we know that was a tough experience in your life. But how are you able to stay motivated and keep a positive mindset in the face of that adversity?
Yeah, like it's a tough one always. The rehab process is crazy, but so I knew that I will need a surgery before the summer season. So before summer season, so I had my first surgery at the age 19, and after that, constantly, like in 2010, I had my first surgery on my right knee, and after that, I constantly felt like something bad in my knee. So I felt discomfort. I was all the time
Mm,
like consulting with my doctor. He told me, "All good, don't worry, just play, just work out, everything will be good." I'm like, "Okay, like if you say so." So I'll just keep going. And then at some point of time, I think in the beginning of 2018, I noticed that I just could not like extend my knee to the full, like full range of motion, or bend it to the full. So I was like basically like a disabled person. My knee was just like that. I'm like, no, it's not right. I just went to my doctor and he told me, oh my God,
Mm,
it's totally destroyed. So I'm like, man, I'm consulting with you like once a month. Why you didn't tell me like a month ago? But whatever. He told me it's 100% you will need surgery, but if you want, you can go
mm,
for summer season. If you can jump for like 3 months, and then let's do it in maybe November when the season is over. So I was like kind of mentally prepared into the season. I knew that I will jump, I will play the summer, maybe a couple months like September, October, and then I just go having surgery and rehab through the winter. So I was mentally ready, but I didn't expect that like rehab will be so long and so tough. Yeah, because like problems with the cartilage, they didn't cut my meniscus, they sewed it back. So it requires like 9 to 12 months of rehabbing. I'm like, God damn. So I'm just missing 1 year. And
yeah.
but just the fact that I love the game so much, so I thought, okay, I'm 28. Maybe it's time. Maybe I had enough. I won 2 championships. I won second World Cup on a bad knee, so maybe I had like a great career. Maybe it's enough. But then when you sideline for a year, you're missing it. So you miss the game. You're like, no, I need to go back. I want to play. I want to jump. I want to run. So I just kept going, kept going, kept going, and I'm so happy that I came back to the certain level that I could compete, and I could still got some wins after this surgery. So yeah, it's tough, but if you really love what you're doing, I think you'll overcome anything, any obstacle in your life.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word. Also, it's kind of crazy because in 2020, the year right after your surgery is the year that you were asked to come and try out for the Harlem Globetrotters. And as we mentioned in the bio, you were the first Ukrainian to actually compete on the Harlem Globetrotters. So I think it's just a testament to maintaining that positive mindset and really being locked in and knowing, okay, no, I can overcome this adversity, which really prepared you for this incredible opportunity with the Globetrotters. Can you tell us a little bit about how you were scouted for the Globetrotters and how you actually made that team?
Yeah, Globetrotters is like a crazy story also because it's basically one of my favorite organization and teams in a world. Just because I love how they work. I love so they entertain with the basketball. So you can do tricks, dunks, you play, you interact with fans. I always thought it's like the best place for me to be. And I tried to get on the Globetrotters since 2014 by myself. When I just signed
Wow.
with my agent in 2013, I told him like, my goal is to make the team, and we were trying to do it since like 2014. Like I said, I contacted them, I spoke to them
Wow.
many times, but never, opportunity never was presented to me. I was trying every year, texting, email, nothing happened. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe this team is not for me. Okay, I'll stay just a fan. I'll never play in this team. I accept it. Right after I say those words to myself, I just stay in home, and Chris Staples calling me on my phone, which he never does, like never at all. He just texts me. He just calls me. I'm like, okay, hey Chris, and he just said, "Do you still want to be on the Globetrotters?" I'm like, yeah. They having a tryout in a month, so if you want, they can buy you a ticket and you can fly out to Atlanta. I'm like, here you go, let's go. Yeah, so just like that, in end of the 2019,
Wow.
yeah, I was still like not 100% back after this surgery, but I'm like, maybe it's just once in a lifetime opportunity, so I just go. Yeah, I went to a tryout. It was an easy tryout for me because I showed my tricks, everything. They just said, yeah, welcome to the team. Yeah, and I joined them in 2020 for their tour.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that. Yeah, just like that. It's always, you think some about your goal. It looks like it's unreachable. It's so far away from you, but then it happens like this. Do you want to come? Yeah, I'll coming. I'm coming. You just came there, try out one day, sign the contract, and that's it. You expect it to be like a movie or
Mhm.
something.
You make it.
Yeah, but it just happened so quick.
You make it sound so easy. It sounds like they already had their mind kind of made up. As long as you showed up for the interview, the
Yeah,
tryout.
I just had to, to
That's
prove
amazing.
myself that I really can do something. So yeah, basically it was tryout was easy. Yeah, let's say like that. But season was hard. Season was hard. So I have I have a crazy respect for Globetrotter guys. For like there is a team Harlem Wizards and any other show team in the basketball world because they have a like crazy long season. Like Globetrotters start and at the Christmas day, and they go until the end of April, sometimes May. So it's 4 to 5 months in a row, and you play like 10 days in a row, then have one off day, then again 10 days in a row. So it's crazy hard. Maybe you're not playing like defense 48 minutes, but you still need to entertain the guys. You need to find inner
Mm-hmm.
energy, inner positive energy to give it back to the people. So it's yeah, it's hard. It's hard job. So I have like a crazy amount of respect for them.
Yeah, 100. And you were on the team in
Yeah.
2020, which we all know was a really crazy year because that's when COVID hit. So you'd been competing on the team for about 3 months. And then in our prep call, you were kind of mentioning the world shut down while on tour in Texas. What was that moment like getting that phone call? Kind of what was going through your head? Um, yeah, what did you end up
I
doing?
think you remember how was it. So nobody knew what to expect. Nobody knew what to do. So it just happened. So we were in a bus driving to like the next city, and promoter called us, said, so next game is canceled, so we have an off day today, so maybe we'll play tomorrow. Then another phone call, the next game is canceled too, so we're like, okay. And then another phone call, whole week canceled. So we just went to the hotel meeting, and they told us, yeah, we don't know what to expect, so let's have a week off or 2 weeks off, and then maybe we'll resume the tour, or we don't know. So, guys, if you want to go to Atlanta to stay somewhere with us, uh, or you can just go back home. For me, means go back home is to fly to back to Ukraine, which is far away. So I decided to stay in the U.S. in Houston with my friends. But then I turn on the TV and I see my president saying like Ukrainian citizens who stays somewhere abroad in different countries, you have 3 days to come back home. After 3 days, border will be closed. I'm like, all right. So
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I have a choice: stay in the US and hope for better, or just go back home and stay with my family in this crazy time. So it was easy choice just to go back to the family. Yeah, I went back and never came back to the team
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, for sure. Wild, wild moment. I know. Yeah, I remember getting that, hearing about the NCAA tournament being canceled during COVID. And that's when it really hit me of like, oh, wow, okay. Got a phone call even from my company. They said, oh, pack your stuff. We don't know when you're coming back. And I never went back to that office because I ended up getting another job. But what a
What
time.
a time.
Praise the Lord,
Mm.
we're done with out of that
Yeah.
season. It's really crazy.
Yes. I think I was coming back from a family vacation and they're like, the borders are closing to the US and you need to be back by this date. And so we had to cut it short. So same scenario there where we had to hustle. Like, do we want to stay on this island over COVID or do we want to go home?
Yeah.
Maybe the island, low key.
Might have been better off.
Honestly. So Smoove, you go back to Ukraine in 2020, and you're living in Ukraine for a while, for a couple years, and then unfortunately, on February 24th, Russia invaded Ukraine, essentially declaring war on Ukraine. And you were super, super vocal from the onset. You really denounced that war. You used your social media profile and platform, spoke to different news outlets, not only you yourself, but alongside other fellow Ukrainian athletes. I also, if you don't mind me sharing, I was going to share with listeners one of the statements that you even put out to FIBA, really denouncing this war. I'll try to make it quick. But Smoove went on record saying, we are proud to be part of the international basketball community. We have always treated all nations with respect. But in the modern world, there is no place for war. Today, we ask for maximum support of the world basketball community and condemnation of the war started by Russia. Let the sport be a tool for peace. Therefore, we ask you to help stop Russian troops from killing in Ukraine. We ask you to create additional pressure on the aggressor country and ban all Russian and Belarusian professional and national teams from all international competitions. That's a little bit long-winded, but that's a really powerful statement that you were making in the midst of this very, very sad moment. So, what did it mean to you to speak up in that moment? What kind of pushed you to make this statement?
I was just having goosebumps while you're reading it because I remember the situation when I wrote this. Yeah, so yeah, when it's everything started, it's I don't want to compare it to COVID, but the same thing. You just wake up from something you never expected to be. So like in my apartment, I have so just to be full story. So a week before, and like not even a minute, like month before, in the news there was like a lot of news that Russia plans to invade Ukraine. Russia plans to do this. Russia plans to cross the border. I'm like, and nobody believed. I mean, maybe some of Ukrainians believed, but not. We didn't take it super serious. But you felt that there's something in the air. So everybody's nervous. I remember like I was going to a gym like every day. I see less and less people in the gym just because you know they minding like other stuff to do, not going to a gym, play basketball. A couple days before, tournaments canceled. Uh, the railway stations shut down. I'm like, what the hell is happening? So I don't understand. And yeah, and just going to sleep on the 23rd, I was super nervous, but I'm like, okay, nothing will happen. I mean, nothing happened me week before, and nothing will happen tomorrow. And suddenly, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. Just I have like big windows in my apartment, and I see the explosions through my window. I'm like, okay. And my friend is calling like, yo, war has started. War has started. And you started to shaking, calling my mom, trying to make some decisions, either to leave or where to leave, where to drive. You don't know what to do basically. So yeah, we decided, me and my wife, who was pregnant at the time, so we decided to stay with our family, with her parents. So we were living in Kiev, and they were living right outside of the Kiev. So we just went there just to stay together. They had a good basement where we could like hide from all the rockets and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So yeah, we stayed there, and immediately when you feel like kind of safe, because I was living on like high floor with the big windows, which is really dangerous while rockets are flying. So while you're in basement feeling kind of safe, you're trying to think what you can do about it. So what's I have a big following, so I have to at least speak out, so tell something. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we came up with the statement, to at least put some pressure from our side. So yeah, I'm really thankful to FIBA that they helped with this. Yeah, and everybody who supported. But it was like a crazy time, especially like first week where you don't know what to have. I don't know when if you were following the news. So one of the cities near Kiev
Yes.
were occupied by Russians, and yeah, we just didn't know which way they will be going. So we were outside of Kiev, so we just were here, and they came from this side. So it easily could be us where we came. So we just were happy to be on that side. Yeah. So yeah, I remember all of this. So yeah, still having goosebumps, like remembering all this stuff.
That had to be terrifying, especially with your pregnant
Yeah.
wife. And was she close to going to into labor during that time, or was it pretty early on?
No, she's what months with it? So it's like 4 months in. So still like
Mm.
halfway through, but yeah, you don't want to keep her in those circumstances. But it's great. She was super like clear-minded, so she was trying to make the right decisions while I was like panicking because I know that I'm the one who's responsible for everything. I need to make decisions, and I simply cannot. I'm like,
Mm.
yeah. So she was great at that time, and yeah, we made the right decision. I think I sent her to Poland to one of my friends, to one of my Dunk Elite teammates, which again, coming back to basketball
Mm.
conversation, basketball gave me like childhood friends,
Yep.
but later on, international friends. Dunk Elite team, we are super, super
Yeah.
close to each other because we're from different countries, but the time we spent together, it was like it was amazing time. And after that, we go into everybody's weddings, birthdays. We just fly into different countries just to stay together. And in this time, I just asked, like, can my wife with her mom and sister just go and stay with you like a couple months while we figuring something out here? He said, of course. So she was living with my friend with his family in Poland for like a few months. Yeah. So basketball
Mm.
friends, I'm so
Yeah.
thankful for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. And in addition to speaking out during that time, you also launched Drop Buckets, Not Bombs campaign with Kicks. Can you tell us a little bit more about the initiative and the mission behind that and how you guys are continuing to build peace in your home country?
Yeah, so I was on my side. I was always trying to find a way to help our people. So I was like trying to find money to help people who was affected by the war. I was trying to. A lot of kids went out of the country, and I know how stressed parents and kids are in those circumstances. So I was trying to, in every country, I have connections basically in every country in Europe. So I was trying to find coaches or basketball clubs who can take those Ukrainian kids and just train them, just to be, just to give them those good emotions, to not them being in stress just because
Mm.
of the war. So I was trying to do everything. And of course, all of our partners try to do the same. And Kicks, our longtime friends, longtime partners of Dunk Elite, and they like, yo, we came up with this creative idea. We're launching those T-shirts with the drop bucket not bombs. They were consulting with me and Miller, who is the second dunker from Ukraine, also world champion. So they were consulting with us, and they told us all the money we have from selling those T-shirts, we just send it to you guys, and you can do whatever you want with those money. You can spend it for military, or you can, which is better, spend it for people who was affected, whose like houses were destroyed. So that's what I did. That's what I did personally. I took this money, I reported for every dollar. So I was just basically buying some food, some basic needs for people. I have it on YouTube also. So I was just driving. It's just crazy when you see it on the news and then you go, to see it in person. Like you go there, like old house, totally destroyed, and there's some grandmother, just going still living in there somehow, and they just go
Mm.
into you, just taking this bag, and you
Yeah.
feel you feel like you're definitely not doing enough, but you're doing anything in your power to help those
Mm.
people. Yeah, so drop bucket not bombs.
Mm.
It's a great initiative. I'm thankful to Kicks, and I think, yeah, now it's all about Ukraine, but it's just a great message for all the world, for all the wars in general. So this message is universal and yeah, worldwide. So drop bucket not bombs. Amazing.
Mm.
Yeah. That is amazing. And you've spoken about it on the podcast already, but the power of sport as this incredible connector. And, we all know as soon as you get on a basketball court, any cultural backgrounds, any different ideologies, it just immediately goes away. And there's this mutual respect. You talked about your Dunk Elite team. You talked about connecting kids in Ukraine to coaches around the world that you've met. There's something so beautiful about that. And that message of drop buckets, not bombs. I think, oh
Big
goodness.
miss.
Oh goodness. We can edit that out, but I think that's massive. It's really, really powerful and important.
Did you receive a lot of pushback when you came out with that message and speaking out against the Russian invasion of Ukraine, or were majority of your followers and people supportive of you and your message?
Both, because a lot of my friends are Russians also. So just imagine, yeah, you from Russia, you was following me for a number of years, and then suddenly, not suddenly, of course, but for them, I'm speaking against them. So they're like, oh, there was a
Mm.
lot of threats in the messages, so a lot of bad words in my way, but I understand that. So I just, I know I'm right in this situation. So I just
Yeah.
stayed in my lane, and that's it.
Mhm.
If you support the
Yeah.
war, you cannot be like my friend, of course, and not even my follower. So I don't want people to like this to follow me, to follow my journey, because we're not on the same page at all. So yeah, I don't care about those people. But a
Mm.
lot of my friends, actually, dunk friends who I played on the same team, they were supporting the other side, which was like crazy disappointing, experience for me, because we spent like 10
Mm.
years together, we were really close friends, and then suddenly they tell me some stuff which sounds like super crazy to me, like they doing the right thing. There are
Yeah.
a lot of bad people in Ukraine. I'm like, oh my god, no, I cannot take it serious. So yeah,
Yeah.
but it's life. It's life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a super
100.
serious question. It's not
Mm-mm.
like it's a war. I mean, you either here or there. So there is no
Yeah.
third option. So yeah, you just need
Yep.
to choose a side.
There's no black and white. Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And it's kind of wild too because I know a lot of the information that was being disseminated in Russia was like very much propaganda, but the power, which was about the war and how it was justifying the
Hmm.
war. And I think there's a power in your platform being able to, it's not a news outlet. You do have followers that come from all walks of life. So being able to educate in addition to advocate for that piece, I think is huge. And like you don't even know the lives that you might have touched or the hearts and the minds that you might have changed just by being bold and speaking out. So I think that's really courageous and speaks a lot towards your character and you being able to use your platform in that way. Speaking of that, when you think about the role of athletes more largely, like what role do you think athletes play in speaking out against global injustices or really standing and advocating for peace?
So yeah, in my eyes, athletes are real like influencers. Like we're talking about influencers now, just people with numbers on the social media, but athletes or people who really did something significant in their life, they are real influencers. You watch them, you can really trust them because of their actions, not just because you posted a video, you got like millions of like, and you automatically became influencer. So that's why I can trust athletes, I can trust science people, like producers, whoever. Yeah, so if they speak out, I can follow. But also, not everybody. It's a hard question, because sometimes you see that the person is not really into the topic, so you cannot just see the news and like, okay, I support this side, because you need to be really inside of this
Mm,
topic. For example, I can speak out on Ukraine Russia situation, obviously, but I cannot speak out like, let's take two different countries, and all I know is just the news presented to me on the internet. So
mm,
I try to stay away because I might be wrong on this side. But yeah, if you know what you're talking about, you definitely need to speak out. You definitely need to tell the truth. You definitely need to show the real picture, because people listen to you. People trust you. When I just became influencer, when I started to post on social media more often, I didn't expect this kind of following. So I was in one city. I just announced like, I'll be in this park. If you want to meet me, just come. I'm going to the park. I'm seeing the whole park packed. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Maybe it's some tournament going on. Maybe I didn't know this court, it was booked. But no, I came there, and it came out all people came just to see me. and I see these people like 500 people, and I understand how much influence I have on them. So yeah, I can tell something and they will listen. So you need to be very careful what you say and what you promote. That's why you need to be,
Mm.
really educated about the topic you talk. But yeah, athletes and all these people are great influencers. You just need to use your power rights, I think.
Yeah, that's a great message. I think a lot of people with their platforms sometimes don't know how to use them, and so for instances like that, talking about things that they're passionate about and knowledgeable about is super influential. And it's funny that you didn't realize how big of an impact that you had in where you're at and the people that you are in contact with on the daily. So that's really cool to hear. Not just to switch subjects a bit because you kind of already gave you gave advice for anybody who's looking to use their platforms in the face of injustice. I think your actions and just everything that you've been doing speaks to that itself. But you've had the chance to travel all across the globe for basketball, and I would love to hear what role you think sports plays in making the world a better
Hmm.
place.
Yeah, like I said, sports is just a great tool, to just have fun, to connect people, to, like you said, make world a better place. Because whenever you go to play sports, you're just having a great time. You're just having a great energy around you. You meet some new people, you meet friends. It's just a great time in general. But yeah, and me going, for example, to China, uh, I see it every time I'm going there. I'm different. I'm like white European guy who can do some crazy tricks, and for them it's so unusual, and influence like multiplies because they see something different.
Yes.
And I can imagine how many people I can inspire just by doing normal stuff I do in Ukraine. I'm just one of the guys they see on a daily basis. They can meet me on a court like every day. So, and wherever you go somewhere outside, they're like, wow. And I'm trying to use this every time. If I see the kid in a crowd, I try at least to just go them, not to give him advice like, yo, keep going. No, not like those messages. I just go there just to spin the ball on his finger. For me, it's nothing. I understand for him, it can create, the whole spark, the whole world around him. He goes back like, Mom,
Mm.
I spun the ball on my finger. I want to get the basketball. I want to get it on the court. So I know how it works now. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm just trying to use every moment to do something good, because whenever I give positive energy, I get twice or thrice more back from them when I see the kid, or not even the kids. It's not
Mm.
all only about the kids, adults too. They're just having a great time. I have it.
Yeah.
I use it as a fuel to keep going. So yeah, sports is just amazing
Yeah.
tool to to make world a better place.
So good. So well said. And it's wild because that moment, just that one moment where you get that young kid excited about the game of basketball, that could be the spark, the catalyst that gets them to now say, I want to join the basketball team, mom and dad. And it might seem simple to just show up and, have a performance or a show, but like there's so much power in those moments. Not to mention, all the other powerful ways that sports can be used. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's
really
like
love that.
you never know. Like even it's everybody say. I know that every performer says like, "Yo, all I need is to see smile on a kid's face." I see that somebody says it, they don't mean it. They just do their job, and they just say it just to say it. But I know on my example why I started to do tricks with the ball, why I started freestyling, just because I saw on the TV Nike freestyle commercial in this black court with the sound of sneaker. So I saw this commercial in 2001 on TV and it blew my mind. I'm like, what the hell is that? I want to try it. So I started to do some tricks, and now, so I met two guys from this commercial. In a Globetrotter team, I played on the same unit with one of the guys, and immediately I told him, "Yo, you one of the reasons why I started to do this." And yesterday, I just played a game with another one from this commercial. I told him the same. And I understand they had no idea, but so they just did their job, do some tricks, and they inspired some kid in Ukraine to do something, something with the ball. And
Yes.
it led me, so me seeing this commercial, it led me to like a big international career, to meet a lot of people, to have an opportunity to send my pregnant wife from a war to another country, just because I started this. Just I saw this commercial, I started to do tricks, I met this guy, this guy, this guy. Now it's all connected. Yeah, so it's just, it's amazing when you think about it. So yeah, so I really mean it when I when
Yeah.
I when I say I want to put the ball on the finger just to give a spark, because I know how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have any different is your mindset different now that you're a dad? Because you have a daughter. How old is she?
She's 20 20 months or 21 months. I need to calculate because we never say.
Oh, you got the months. You
This
got
is
the you
such
got
a parent thing.
the
I'm like, your daughter's 2. Come on. But all my friends with like young children are like, she's 38
I'm like,
months and 12 days. I'm like,
no,
all
she'll
right,
be
let's
Don't make me do the
she'll be
math. Don't make
two
me do
she'll
the
be two
math.
in August. That's what I can tell. Yeah, it's
I
it's
love it.
amazing feeling. Yeah,
But has your mindset changed?
definitely, yeah, definitely changed because you're responsible for your family now. Even um, just being married is just you and your wife, you and your partner. You still having fun. You still can travel somewhere. So married is just a status, it's just a ring. So it doesn't really change anything. But when you have a kid, extra person in your life, which you like love unconditionally, and you feel so much connection, so much love, so much responsibility. It's a totally different world, and you try to use your time correctly. Don't waste it anywhere. Not procrastinating. Just do the right thing all time and be the best person you can be. To just give a great example. Yeah. So basically that's it. But in a sports world, a little bit harder because your schedule like that, especially with a newborn, is just I just remember those days. It was just crazy. Zero sleep, minimum sleep, and you still need to go on a court, perform or train. Yeah, it was hard because I'm not. I was one of the dads that really want to be involved 100%. I understand this moment can fly by like this. I want to be involved. I want to help as much as I can. So yeah, I was together with my wife all the time, and we were in Ukraine, and our city was bombed, and we had blackouts, all the nice stuff we could have, no water, no electricity. So yeah, we were trying to stay together as much, and uh, I think it helped us as a couple a lot. But as an athlete, yeah, now I found the right schedule, so I'm good now, and yeah, I don't want to say the words that now everything I'm doing for my daughter. No, I'm still doing it for myself, for everybody, for my family also. But of course, you have in mind that you have a daughter and you want a better life for her, and that's also the reason why you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it just made me a better person,
Mm.
honestly. So I hope at least.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's powerful. So you and your wife and your daughter actually recently moved to Texas. And now you are also coaching, so you're still
Whoa.
very involved in giving back in addition to, your content creation, Dunk Elite, all this great stuff that you're doing. How has that coaching experience been and kind of giving back to the next generation in a different way?
Yeah, coaching is a different thing. One thing is entertaining and giving them a great time. Another thing is like educating, teaching. Sometimes you need to be very
Mm.
strict. Sometimes even you need to yell on the kids, which I never do, or something like that, just to have a discipline. Different, really different. I try my best.
Do you know how to yell, Smoove?
I try my best. I have my friend who we partners in this coaching thing, and he yells really good. So yeah, that's his
Oh, you got good cop, bad cop going.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're doing a great job. I think, yeah, for me, great experience. I learn as much as the kids, and yeah, I'm doing my best. But I think I'm way better entertainer and as a than a coach. But I trying to be a good one. Yeah, we have couple teams. We play tournaments. Um, we're trying to not only focus on just on the games, but on the development, because we understand that like American and the European ways of training is a little bit different. So we're trying to put more European style in it, more focusing on the details, like from the early age, because we see a lot of kids talented,
Mm.
like crazy talented, physically, athletically, but like not a great footwork. So we just at the age of 10, we try to put the right footwork. So when you're reaching high school or college, you already know how to move on the court or something like that. Right? That's if we go specific. But a part of that, yeah, I'm enjoying. Yeah, it's hard, but
I love that. It's so funny when you're able to see the different styles of each, like even different countries. With like Australia, for me, they were they had a very finessed
mm,
style of play. But for the kids that you're coaching to be able to experience that through you, I think that's super special because they get a completely different perspective of the sport, and they get a well-rounded perspective of the sport because obviously US style is a little bit different, and it's also dependent on who the role models and
yeah,
athletes are of this time and who they're seeing on TV. So I think that's tremendous that they're having you as a coach. And they say, what do they say? They say teaching basketball is learning it twice. Like obviously we learn it growing up, but when you have to change your mindset around teaching it to somebody, teaching the why, that's a whole other reframing and redialing of your brain.
for sure.
So, Smoove, before we jump to our lightning round, we have one last question for our listeners. We've been asking this of all of our guests, but would love to hear any advice you have for listeners regarding really achieving their full potential, and then in the same respect, how they can use their giftings to share that love and light and make the world a better place.
Uh, wow. I mean, I don't think if I have like a real good answer to it. Only one answer. Just love what you do. I mean, if you really love what you do, you'll achieve everything. So that's basically it. I see a lot of kids who play basketball just because their parents made them to go to play basketball. Maybe at the same time you just want to play guitar. That's your passion. Just go play. I'm so thankful to my parents that they gave me opportunity to do what I want to do, even though in Ukraine, in my little city, zero basketball opportunities. I told them I want to be a professional basketball player. They told, okay, yeah, okay, just go try. And I saw in their eyes, like, let kid have fun now, and then then he will have a real job. So he'll be introduced to a real world after. But no, they let me do my thing, and I think they satisfied with the results. So yeah, only my advice: just find what you love and give your 100%. Yeah, just go full speed all the time, because if you do what you love, you don't work. You just that's everybody know this saying, but it's true. It's true. If you do what you love, you don't feel like you're working. I can play basketball whole day. I'll not be tired. Maybe physically, but not mentally. I can do YouTube, which I really love, 10 hours in a row. I'll not be tired. So yeah, just do what you love.
Yeah.
I love it. You turned out pretty good. So your parent, I
Good
think
job,
your
guys.
parents are more than satisfied.
Hope so.
Well,
100%.
we're at our lightning round. Pew pew pew. So
Pew, pew,
quick
pew.
questions. Answer. You have like 30 seconds to answer each. And so first question, what is your favorite dunk contest that you've competed in?
Couple 2013, the finals of Ukrainian 3x3 championship. We had a great battle against Russia. So we had team dunk contest, Ukraine versus Russia. Uh, Suddenly, and yeah, even we won. We won. I was in the finals. I did my best
Nice.
dunks. We won. In the same day, I became a 3x3 national champion. Also, so it was just a great day
Wow.
in the middle of Kiev, in the heart of Ukraine, on the main street. Great court, great crowd. So yeah, it was one of my favorites. Also, I think 2016 China in Guangzhou, my first World Cup, just because outcome was so unexpected. When I got the championship, I
Mm,
didn't expect the reaction I got from it. So yeah, I highlight two dunk contests.
Mm.
nice. Love it. Okay. Next question. Which country has the rowdiest fans?
What I have a question. What does it mean, rowdiest?
Rowdy
Like,
means like wild,
Wild. All
crazy.
right. Yeah,
Like,
I have answer right away. Right
yeah.
away. It's Latvia. Latvia. They
Latvia.
love basketball, and they had, if you will have a chance, just go to YouTube and find the Kings of Air dunk contest. So they came with the idea of organizing a 3 hour dunk contest as a separate event. So usually you have a dunk contest inside of the basketball tournament. So it's basketball tournament, half an hour for a dunk contest before the final game or whatever. But they created like the whole event just for the dunkers. Dunkers are the main stars. In between, you have singers, you have dancers, you have guys on the horses. I don't know. In one dunk contest,
Wow,
they
horses.
came on a so the guys with the mic, the main guys, came on the court for the introduction on top of the tank. So the message of this dunk contest was
What?
F the war. So no war, and they just came in the tank on the
We
court.
have
wow.
tanks. We have
And yeah,
horses.
next year
That's a
This does
lot.
next
sound
year they
rowdy.
entered the court on a helicopter, so just landed straight from the helicopter. They was dressed as a pilots, so just the dedication they put in a dunk contest. And people, when you see people
There's zero safety precautions in this.
they don't need it. Yeah,
Oh,
and when you
wow.
see,
Okay.
so when they open the gate for a dunk contest, they just open the gate and people just run, like they trying to see Madonna or whoever. So and they react, they understand every dunk you do. So that felt my favorite dunk contest, Kings of Air in Latvia, and the crowd out there, great, amazing.
Wow.
Cool. Well, the next question: who is the toughest competition you've faced in a dunk contest?
Uh,
Ooh, we could have some hot takes
no, that's an
here.
easy answer. So basically, the toughest competition is yourself. It's also not just the saying, just
Mm.
so usually you win if you give your best. That's it. So, if you go and you make your dunks, maybe like front rim from a back rim, not so good, not so powerful, or you miss a dunk, you lose. In my case, I have like unique set of dunks, which nobody except me does in a dunk contest. So if I do my best, I have like really high chances to win. Same with other guys. Same with Guy Dupuis from France. Same with my man Miller from Ukraine, Lipik from Poland, Jordan Kilgannon, for example. If you just do your best dunks with a good power, you feel great. Most likely you'll win. So yeah, but if you want to have names, let's have like five guys who are like great competitors. Lipik from Poland, my great friend. Miller from Ukraine, my great friend. Guy Dupuis, not of my best friends, but really great athlete. Jordan Kilgannon, obviously, and Chris Staples. Let it be top five. I love competing with those guys.
That's a solid list. That's a great list. There's
Mhm.
some incredible dunkers on that list. Okay, last question of the day. What was your favorite moment of the NBA All-Star Weekend 2024? We were all there, living our best lives. Give us your top moment.
Top moment.
Was it watching Chelsea and Hannah win the 3-on-3
Obviously,
championship?
And
that's
you?
a easy.
And you did win, right?
I won. No, I didn't win it 3-on-3. I won like a dunk contest. So I have this little trophy. You have, Chelsea, on a shelf. This wooden plate. Yeah, I have it. MVP. I have a
Yay.
dunk contest one. So yeah, I mean,
Let's go.
so many
Whoop whoop. Let's go.
moments actually. Like not even on a basketball court. Like you remember, we were at this. What was it called? Indy, what 500? We were on
Yeah, the
on a
racetrack.
racetrack. Yeah, it was snowing like crazy. Just to be there with the whole crew, just having fun, taking pictures when the snow is like hitting your eyes. So just having those times is amazing. Like on the court, obviously, of course, 3-on-3 dunks are great, but those small moments outside the court when you're just having a great time with your friends are like most precious ones. So I think, yeah, every day
Mhm.
on our kitchen in our Airbnb, we had like great conversations with the guys I never met, but just because it's basketball, we all connected just in one click. So everything
Yep.
outside of the basketball
That's that power of
was
sports,
great,
baby.
and basketball obviously was great too.
Yeah.
I can tell you the worst,
Yeah.
It was a
the
surreal
the
weekend.
worst thing on an All Star weekend. It's an NBA All Star game. Is the worst.
That's true,
It was
though.
terrible.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Smoove, for joining us today and allowing us to be a platform and a resource for your message and your story. Thanks for allowing us to amplify that. And if anybody, thank you to our listeners for tuning in. If you like this podcast, like, share, follow. All of Smoove's social media and some of the resources we spoke about will be in our show notes for you guys to follow his journey and to help in whatever way you can. Um, Otherwise, thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, Smoove. So honored to have you on. It's been a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Chelsea. Thank you, Brianna, for having me, and thank you everyone who tuned in and watched the whole thing. Thank you very much.